The point is we are watching levels. We know the upside level, 306. We know the downside level here of 302. One of these is going to get confirmed in the next couple of days. And the reason why...
Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
What a crazy day. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Crazy day, right? You better pack a cup, you better pack a bulletproof vest, some water, get your electrolytes going, get a bodyguard, a shield, everything, because today had it all, right? Today absolutely had it all. Hopefully everybody had a good day, productive day, but more important, hopefully everybody survived the session. Yeah, look, this is the type of scenario, right? We always talk about aggressive events, right? The aggressive events are always FOMC days, Fed minutes, testimonies, all that stuff, obviously earnings, anything that's a wild card that you don't know what's going to happen. And if you traded today, right, if you're not a passive investor, and this channel is probably not for you, right? We are talking to the active trader. If you're an active trader, you saw the incredible aggression both ways today, roller coaster ride, and it all started with the Fed. Unbelievable, unbelievable to say the least. Before we get started, again, guys, if you are brand new to the channel, again, we appreciate the support. Hopefully the future loyalty, like, subscribe, share this channel. We'd really, really appreciate, and hopefully we can continue to add value to you. So let's talk about it, right? So let's start from the beginning, right? When I mean the beginning, the last 3-4 days, we were talking about the market needed a back test, a rest, kind of to get their footing. And I was thinking, you know what? Because of gravity, I said there was a shot, right? I thought there was a shot of 300-400 point decline in the Nasdaq just to kind of reset some things. Although we got, although we didn't get that 300-400 point to the downside, the market actually had a pretty good rest, right? If you look at what the Qs did from January the 6th, right? We literally went from 260 to 313, right? It's a phenomenal move. It's astronomical. There's not enough hyperboles you can use to kind of describe the exaggeration of what happened. But we did backtest, right? We did backtest. We didn't get that 300-400 point decline. We did though backtest to the 5-day moving average that we talked about yesterday. And if you watch the video, and I think Kyler's probably already played the clip from last night's video, we knew both of the channels that were super important, right? We talked about last night, 302 is going to be to the downside, 306 is going to be to the upside, because that is the channel, right? That they are battling the control over the 5-day moving average, which always will be, whoever has control of the 5-day has control of short-term sentiment. And the one curveball that we knew was going to happen today was, while Chairman Powell was going to speak today at all times 12:45, roughly around lunchtime, because by the way, the world and the financial system has so exaggeratedly, switched just in the last 6 days, he had to rush to give us an update, right? The world has changed over the last 6 days. So we knew that was happening. And we also knew with Powell comes volatility, uncertainty, knee-jerk reactions, aggression both ways. And we only can dream of what type of chaos when he stops talking all his language that the market was going to do. So today was, I would say, one of the craziest roller coaster days you could possibly imagine. What he said is kind of irrelevant. There was a lot of, you guys remember like algebra, right? The Pythagorean theorem. There was something called the if-then. Well, if this happens, then this will happen, right? I wasn't great at algebra, but I was good enough to understand what the if-then thing was. So there was a lot of if-thens, okay? I didn't care what he said. How possibly different could have possibly been from last Wednesday. It was all about the price action. So he started talking, and we talked about that 306 level, and the market absolutely exploded. Okay, when I'm talking about exploded, this was the first candle. The Qs literally went from 304 to 310. This is a matter of 10 minutes, right? Absolutely 10 minutes. So then he stops talking, right? You figure stops talking because the guy gets paid by the word. The Qs then go from 310 all the way down to 302, right? Just keep in mind what this is all happening within 30 minutes of each other. Because remember, he started speaking at 12:45. So this is still the 12 o'clock candle, and this is the 1 o'clock candle. So in the two candles, the Qs go from 304 to 310, and then they go from 310 to 302. The great part about what they did, and again, this was savagery, right? People, savage moves. The great part, what they did on the downside was they never took out the previous day's low, right? And that's where technical analysis comes into a very, very important key level, because again, what we talk about all the time, you're not guessing, right? That's the key. You're not guessing. You know the important levels of 306 that we discussed yesterday to the upside, and we know the 302 level. Look where it stopped today, right? Yesterday's low was 302.22 on the Qs. Today's low, 302.32. Within 10 cents of yesterday's low, the bulls held yesterday's low. They started rallying back, and look what happened on the next two candles. Just absolute anarchy. Went back to the highs. We closed at the highs, and I tell you, this is definitely one of the wildest day you can probably imagine, or you could possibly have traded. And if you didn't have a plan today, okay, and all of us in the webinar, we had very specific prices for every little thing, no matter if it was an ETF, no matter if it was an individual securities. The key was not to guess, not to anticipate, not to spew your opinion. All that goes out the window when Chairman Powell starts yapping. And once he's stopped, the natural progression of the market, it continues to be incredibly bullish, right? Again, if you're still in denial of what this market is or what this market isn't, we're in a bull market, right? This is not bearish market activity. Bearish market activity would have gave up the gains, and we'd have been having this conversation back at the 50-day moving average. This is incredibly bullish action. And now that the bulls rested for 3-4 days, like I said, I was looking for a 300-400 point pull in the Qs. We did not get it, but now they held their serves. We obviously know that 302 becomes a huge level down the road that the bulls need to defend, but now we are above previous day's channel. We are building above previous day's channel, and now the bulls have their sights on this 313.68, which was the high on February the 2nd. So crazy moves, but with these crazy moves, all the stocks that rallied really big, right? They came in, they tested their levels, they all woke up today, right? You had Meta that had fantastic earnings, rested for 3 days, and again, we'll get to the individual pivots in a second, exploded. You had Nvidia, right? They were coming in the middle of the day today. I actually messed up with Nvidia today the first time around. Let me tell you why. I learned a lesson a long time ago. If you see a stock that's strong ahead of an event, don't trade it, because what's going to happen is the event is going to skew the trade. So I bought Nvidia and started going up. I started seeing 320s, 325, 330, 230 calls coming in, and it came, it started rallying, and the market got jittery ahead of the speech. It came in, I wound up losing like 80 cents. It wasn't the point of the money. I kind of had a little bit of a brain fart that don't put on these trades ahead of a major, especially chaotic potential event. But if things turned around really quickly. Once they started moving back up, there was a second entry on Nvidia, and this is the second entry right here, this 217.50 area. And once it started taking out this 217.50 after it confirmed to 215.70, it absolutely exploded. Meta exploded. You had Apple went nuts, right? Apple went absolutely nuts. Microsoft went absolutely nuts. AMD, which is setting up really well for tomorrow, went absolutely nuts off the bottom ranges. And again, that is the epitome of a bull market. Again, is it possible we have a rest day tomorrow? Sure, absolutely. But the point is the pullback, right? The pullback and the reset, in my opinion, it looks like it happened, right? I could be completely wrong, and that's okay. And we already know that number for the 302 level in case the market starts to pull. But in all intents and purposes, I think the bulls rested for 3 days. They got their sea legs back. And what we saw today, you saw a reversal to the upside, a round trip back to the downside, and a round trip back to the upside as well. Again, something like this you don't see normally. Super aggressive, and if you were fortunate enough to understand the levels and the key price points of all these pivots, then your day was fine. If you were just trading random prices, man, I don't know, I'll say a prayer for you tonight, because it was incredibly aggressive. So going into tomorrow, again, anything that was strong today, obviously the game plan continues to be any weak open, especially opens into the rising 60-minute support, yeah, I mean, you got to be a buyer, right? You got to be a buyer. This setup has been working. This trade has been working. The psychology behind this trade has been working ever since we reclaimed the 50-day moving average. Even the down days that we've rested in the last 3 days, any open to any down open has been bought, and this is kind of what what the bullish market represents, what the bullish market looks like. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in the futures. Maybe one day we will go down to the lows, right? Maybe Michael Berry, that screamed sell and had a 17% rally in his face, came back again, sell again. The market went down and started rallying back in his face. Maybe he finally gets it right? He was definitely right about the bubble. Who the hell knows, right? About the mortgage mess, who the hell knows? But the point is, as long as you are trading one day at a time, one trade at a time, not anticipating, not guessing, not having an opinion, and not tying yourself into a bias, I think you'll be okay. The problem starts when you're all over the place, right? Trying to convince everybody how smart you are, convince everybody that you know more than the market, that you can beat the market, and the market is your inferior product, and everything will be good in the world. The problem is nobody cares. And second of all, hell, by the way, nobody cares. So concentrate on being the best version that you can be, that is safe and sound and stays in business every single day. So let's talk about today's pivots. Again, super aggression, especially, right? And that's the key, especially once Powell started talking. And let's talk about this. VKTX, not a big move yet, but VKTX, I really like that chart. I think we spoke about it last night in the video. 963 needs to confirm the daily channel. I saw it move up. I saw it move up to the 70s. Yeah, it continued to going higher, almost $10. Nice looking chart. If you're swinging, this thing looks great, guys. It's close to $10. I have no position in this thing, but this thing starts building above 10. You can get a really nice move there. Qs, again, here's the point, right? The 5-day support, if it builds below, can flush 302.20, right? Today's low, 302.32. Again, that's a very important part. Snapchat, 1220 and 1244 needs to confirm. Here with Snapchat, a lot of pretty good call buying coming in on Snapchat throughout the whole day. Here was Snapchat, traded right above this 1220 area, still kind of maintaining right underneath the pre-market highs of 1244. Still looks pretty steady. Still looks pretty good here. Let's see here. Netflix, nice flush on Netflix this morning. 358 if it builds below can flush. Here is Netflix. Looks like I have two versions of eSignal opened up. So it lost the 358, right? Here's the whole 358. Lost the 358, went all the way down to 354, 355, obviously before it reversed like everything else. Meta went ballistic. Meta 197 needs to build. Meta went nuts. Here is Meta, took out the 190.70, second entry off the 191, traded up to 194. If this thing confirms 194 tomorrow, man, you got the earnings highs on deck. Really nice move on Meta. Nvidia, again, here's the importance. Tesla, again, we were watching for the 89.30s, never got down there, traded down to 89.50s. Again, that's how specific technical analysis is. If you guessed, right? If you guessed and you went in early, you got murdered, right? You got murdered going in early. That's the whole point of why we watch for confirmation. Nvidia 1570 needs to build. Again, my first entry in Nvidia, I lost money, but once it confirmed back the second entry and started building above this 1750 area confirmation, stock just absolutely went nuts, almost went up to 223. I still like it, obviously, for tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, I was stuck in traffic. You can see 1950 next support and everything. It just kept on moving higher. And that is it, right? That is it. So look, there's a lot of really good names up on tap for tomorrow. AMD, I want to see if it could confirm this 2-day high. Tesla, we are still watching, if it could base out. Is it the day for Tesla tomorrow, right? Who knows? Nvidia, I still like. Meta, I still like. I still think there's a shot at test its earnings highs. Microsoft is continued to be an absolute monster despite, right, not having the greatest quarter. That's the whole point. It's not about the news. It's about reaction to the news. And hopefully we get a nice tamed slight red open. We trap, we go higher, we start confirming today's prices. And next thing you know, hopefully everything goes well. Guys, have a great night. God bless. I'm going to my son's basketball game. And with God's help, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.